Hey guys, D2Bowie here, and this is how Crit, Pylite Eye, and Fly fight with Oracle. Usually when playing offensively, you always want to use your Fortune's End in a way that can quickly cancel your regen from Purifying Flames. So usually you just channel the skill until the max range from Purifying Flames, and then you can purge the heal while at the same time locking the target by a decent duration. But in the early levels, sometimes channeling all the way by using Fortune's End first is fine, especially if you have one or two extra allies. In this clip he only has Fortune's End learned, so there's nothing fancy going on. The Riki also joins the fight, and check how Crit first cuts his way with a Tangle, and then channels Fortune's End until he's about to die, giving enough lockdown on the Riki, and at the same time it purges the Ion Shell and they get another kill without losing the Oracle. In this clip he notices that the Riki has Ion Shell and he's damaging him. He goes for a safer place, and the well-placed sentry gets the Riki by surprise. Check how he channels the Fortune's End, and then he uses Purifying Flames. Since the Fortune's End has a projectile, even though he used it first, it only hits the target after the Purifying Flames, and he maximizes his damage because the Riki healed close to nothing. In this footage, since he had two extra teammates, he doesn't mind casting the Purifying Flames right away because he knows they need more lockdown than they need damage. The same thing happens here, Purifying Flames right away, and then he doesn't use Fortune's End right away to cancel the regen since he has extra help. After the Slark died, he doesn't cast another Purifying Flames right away. He waits until the HP from the enemies are a little bit lower. Because if you cast too many Purifying Flames without actually purging the heal, sometimes the enemy can just kill everyone or just run away without you being able to kill him. Here, by actually looking at the area he was moving to, he sees the Riki passing through the close to expiring sentry ward, and by using another sentry he gets the kill. But the important part happens now. While it's not as effective to use Purifying Flames first and then channel Fortune's End later, when you're chasing a target that will go through the fog or to a place you just can't keep chasing, you can always use Purifying Flames and then channel the Fortune's End by enough time to get another cooldown on Purifying Flames, and then the Fortune's End will give you Lingering Vision to cast another nuke. And that's how he gets this kill. Crit sees a fight breaking out close to his tier 1 safe lane tower, and he goes there to assist. Since Riki ults, he ends up channeling Fortune's End on Darkseer, but he didn't predict the Juggernaut showing up. He ends up ulting himself, but most of the jumps from the Juggernaut end up hitting the Death Prophet. Check how he makes up for it by using the Fate's Edict on the DP, and then she's able to disengage safely. In this clip he is forced to ult the Slark, and when they re-engage, a fight breaks out. After they get some kills, he tries to help the Bounty Hunter kill Silencer. A lot of people don't know this, but Fate's Edict doesn't only increase the duration of the magic resistance and the disarm, but it also increases the range of the skill. A lot of people like to max Purifying Flames and Fortune's End for the max DPS build, but sometimes the extra range can be useful. Here, even though he has level 2 on the skill, he ends up not being enough. He almost cancelled the damage from Silencer's nuke. But at least he gets the kill, and to put the icing on the cake, Storm shows up and misplays a little bit. In this footage, check how he keeps watching what's happening on the teamfight while he goes there. He tries to stay hidden to cast his ult unnoticed, but he ends up touching Darkseer's wall. He false promises Death Prophet, and check how he doesn't Fortune's End the entire fight, only when Darkseer disengages with Surge, and then he quickly purges it, guaranteeing another extra kill. Track synergizes very well with Oracle. Not only it allows him to predict enemy initiations and skill usage, but it's also pretty good offensively as well. Here we see a common problem with Oracle. While having both extremely aggressive and defensive spells may seem like the recipe for the perfect hero, that's not true. Here, since he wants to help his team to get those extra kills, he ends up having to get closer even though his spells have huge range, and he gets caught in the vacuum and dies without using False Promise. And all of that escalates and Death Prophet and Slark also dies. It is pretty hard to control how aggressive you want to be with the hero because he can always keeps going, and sometimes you can end up dying without time to cast your defensive spells since you're so squishy. In this clip, check how he doesn't commit the Sentry Ward even after the Global Silence was cast. He only has one, and he wants it to be better used. He wants it closer to the Radiant base while they push. Even though this time he plays defensively and he uses his ult pretty well, they end up losing. There's not enough sustain for Death Prophet to heal until her spirits are back, and Slark just engaged very poorly during this fight. In this footage, Radiant overextends. They kill Death Prophet during the push, but they don't disengage after her buyback. Again, we see Storm engaging very poorly and another kill for the Dire. This is one of the final fights of the game. He starts off with a standard Sentry Ward to scale the Riki. The Storm tries to engage on the Oracle, and at the same time the rest of the Radiant focus Death Prophet. But they can't kill any of them fast enough, and Crit can use False Promise and he spams heals on her. Since she also has Octarine Core, she's back in fighting shape, and Crit's positioning is very good this entire fight. He keeps close to constant distance from Death Prophet to always have range to assist her and at the same time dissuade anyone to focus him. When the Storm is close to dying, he also doesn't get greedy. His job is making sure Death Prophet comes out alive since her buyback is on cooldown. In my opinion, the MVP play of this game is this Fortune's End. Everyone is focusing the Death Prophet, so instead of trying to lock down one target, he dispels the silence debuff and at the same time locks down everyone by casting the Fortune's End on her, and that allows Nyx to land a 2-man stun and they get 3 kills. In this clip, Paladai was pulling, but thanks to the lane ward he placed, he was able to spot the Pudge going in to leech experience, and pay attention to how he plays it. Instead of instantly using the Fortune's End, he deals as much damage as possible until the Pudge decides to leave, and that buys time for the Slark as well as the Fortune's End to lock down the Pudge for them to get the kill. In this footage, he played it pretty chill. Most people would have tried to nuke the Enchantress, but he knows he can't do it alone and Tinker's skills are on cooldown, so he waits a bit and when the Lina gets greedy to get a kill on the Tinker, he snipes her. A lot of people sometimes just give up early and let them get killed, but not only Paladai runs away, but he goes into the trees and that makes killing him even more of a hassle. See how he used that fog to try to juke the Invoker and buy time? In the Smoke Yank with the Elder Titan, he does something I already talked about. Since they have 3 heroes on that gank, he would rather heal the Invoker a little bit to 100% allow the Elder Titan to hit his stun, than just deal a little bit more damage and maybe allow the Invoker to survive. Oracle is pretty decent with Slark and Earth Spirit. His skill really facilitates the pounce and all of Earth Spirit's skill set to land reliably, especially against fast heroes like Enchantress. Faceless Void went for Invoker and Pi TPs to help him, but check his decision making afterwards. He was afraid that maybe the Lina would nuke the Slark, so he knows that the Slark already used Dark Pact, so he has the chance of blocking a nuke with his Fate's Edict, while at the same time he's not hindering Slark's damage output since he's going to dispel it, and they get a kill on the Lina. In this clip they are chasing Invoker and he prioritized his damage output instead of the disable from Fortune's End, probably because Earth Spirit already had used most of his skill set, but Invoker almost gets away with a beautiful 3-man tornado. He decides to fight the Lina. Usually it's fine to use False Promise on yourself if you can kill someone before you die, since you get more golden experience, and he actually kills Lina, but Pi didn't count on Pudge being there. We see a similar situation in this footage. Pi was running away from Pudge and he gets dismembered. A beautiful Chronosphere gets everyone besides him and he's able to False Promise himself and kill both Spectre and Pudge before dying, which is definitely a good trade for Dire. Another similar play. Pi Lai kills Pudge before dying and he also runs away from the fight, trying to give no experience for anyone around the area. Faceless Void jumps the Lina and a fight breaks out. He helps Void securing the kill and ults Earth Spirit since he still didn't have time to use his ult. Then he abuses the pounce duration to channel the Fate's Edict, while at the same time casting Purifying Flames to get dispelled right after. Another clever play, he uses Fate's Edict on the Enchantress while Dire focuses the Spectre so that she couldn't kill someone in the backlines. It takes some time but Tinker gets the Spectre, but he ends up dying to the Invoker that shows up. Well, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see Fly Oracle's breakdown, please check the link in the description. I can't overstate how this video would never be possible without the huge help from the Pugna guys, so please show them some love. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to it. I'm making videos like this almost every day, and I'm sure something here will spark your interest. The rest of the Radiant heroes keep chasing the Void, but he doesn't forget about the Pudge that was just there, and he actually cancels the Pudge's TP. A lot of times when you have teams that don't have a lot of disables, it's actually important to check the enemy's inventories to see if they are baiting your disables to use the TP right after. Here, when they are chasing the Skywrath, by knowing fully well how the range of his skills work, he's able to slow him and allow for the Omni Slow to also reach him to get the kill. In this clip, a lot of people would be inclined to use the Magic Wand to use another skill on the Invoker, but he sees that he's using EMP. If he used the Magic Wand, he